Will creating something every day improve your skills and output in creating? I believe the answer is yes, and in this video I'm going to teach 3 lessons that I learned by doing it myself and why you should be creating more now. So, number 1, accountability. My field is in design, and since finishing uni late last year, I've not been anywhere near as consistent as I'd hoped to be because I didn't have anything like class deadlines or uni assignments, presentations, anything keeping me accountable to actually keep creating, keep designing. I found I wouldn't start the passion projects that I wanted to simply because there wasn't any deadlines forcing me to do so. I had ideas, I had motivation, I just couldn't make it a priority. I always put it off, I was too busy, something like that. So by publicly challenging myself to design something every single day, I now had a clear deadline and accountability to do it because if I didn't, the public would see. Posting the process publicly is a big kicker here. I did this through Instagram Reels and I made a new account. First video I said, I'm gonna post 30 days regardless if it's good or bad, and it kept myself accountable because it's public. There's gonna be consequences if I don't do it. Now obviously there's not really consequences, it's a brand new account, but I actually did miss a few days and I had 2 or 3 people message me saying, where's the video? So there actually was consequences. Granted, that was friends and family who had found the account and were sort of joking, but it still kept me accountable, and that's the point. By forcing myself to be accountable, my production increased 10 times than what it was prior. Number 2, learning. Now, I've watched hundreds of videos on how to grow, how to get better design, podcasts on how to grow brands, business, social media, all that stuff, which are great resources, definitely do that. But nothing compared to actually doing it and learning as I did it. That was the single most thing that improved my skills in that space. It's so simple, you've heard it before, I've heard it before hundreds of times, but it really is important. You don't know what you don't know until you do it. If that makes sense. For example, I have a background in filmmaking and I felt really confident making these videos. I thought, I've watched all these videos, I know how to do the hooks, I know how to do that. My first video compared to my last, there is a drastic difference, and that's purely because I learned doing it. I learned what hooks work better for me, what's worked for them might not have worked for me, so I've had to figure out what worked in the space I was doing, and I wouldn't have known that if I didn't start. I can't learn that through watching someone else doing it. I had to do that. So regardless of what it is, whether you're making videos for social media, you're designing stuff, you're starting a business, whatever it is, you just need to start and you need to do it yourself, because the quicker you start, the quicker you're gonna get better. Taking all of that out of account, on the other side of things, purely technical, my efficiency improved so much in Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects, all that stuff, because I was forced to do it under a time crunch. I knew how to use these programs, but I hadn't really sat down and really nailed out, how can I get more efficient? How can I get quicker? And having this time crunch, having these deadlines, and doing it myself and learning, increase it by, and again, tenfold. And like I said, I thought I had that all figured out. I did know my programs and stuff, but looking at where I started and where I am now, my efficiency is so much better. Number 3, share everything. This ties into number 2 a little bit, but it's so important that it needs its own number. I cannot stress enough how important it is to just start, but not only start, share the process as you start. We're at this funny point in time where if you're not sharing what you're doing, then you're falling behind. I read this book during uni, Show Your Work by Austin Kleon, and I think it articulates what I'm trying to say better than I could. So if you haven't read it, then I recommend you do. But one point that stuck with me most about it is share like an artist. With how social media is, people resonate with the process more than the product. So for example, if I show you how I got from point A to point B, you're probably going to be more invested than I just said, hey, look at me, I'm at point B. That's probably not a great example. So I'll use a painting as an example. So you've got this great painting, you've put 50 hours of work in it, you make a video, you show this painting to everyone, here's my painting. People might be really good painting, might care, that's great. But if you showed point A to point B, here I spent 50 hours on working on this, here's the blood, sweat and tears that went into it, here's why I made this, I can guarantee people are going to be more invested in the end product because they've seen what's gone into it and they can understand the process and resonate with you, the creator. I think someone who does this really well is Izana Art on Instagram. She has this really unique way of sharing her uni projects, and she details the exact hours she's put into each subject. So it's such a simple thing of showing, here's what I made for this uni, except she's saying, this took me 13 hours exactly, I really like this one, here's why I did it. And she's got a great following. It's a really sort of unique style that I haven't seen. And that's just articulating what I'm trying to say is, she's showing the process. If she just showed, this is what I made for uni, without this took me 30 hours a week, whatever, I can guarantee her following would not be as big as it is because she does that. Shout out her, I guess. I mean, she's got a bigger following than me, but still. So the way I implemented this is I shared what I made every single day, regardless if it was bad or good. And there were some pretty bad ones that I still shared because I thought, you know what, I've stuck to this, I'll keep myself accountable, I'm still gonna share it regardless if it's good or bad. And you know, some of my mates are like, oh yeah, this one's pretty shoddy, but that's fine. I'm showing the ups and downs of the process, and that helps me resonate with my audience better. And it also motivated me to improve on the next stage design. So it kind of worked in two ways. Even disregarding all of those reasons, the simple fact is social media, audience connect with realness. That's why you see those followings with millions of followers or whatever, and they just seem to flip their camera around and talk in the car. It's the most basic video ever, but they get views because they've built up this audience, they've shown their personality, they've shown real stuff. So by showing your process and your journey with whatever it is, for me, this example was graphic design, then you're allowing your audience to take a sneak peek behind the scenes and really resonate with what you're creating rather than just showing, hey, here's what I made. Because if they're not into that niche, they're not really gonna care. So that's it. I hope this video has given you some insight or some value, or maybe just giving you that nudge to go and start whatever it is you've been putting off. If you want to see what I created in my designs, they're on my Instagram. I've obviously put some in throughout the video that you've seen. But yeah, other than that, thanks for watching. Bye.